Here, doing my one more video on Madrid, so that's 3 or 4, I think. This will be the last one I'm going to do. And it was, again, at the same museum, the National Art Gallery in Reina Sofia. This one is called Mujer con Abanico, Woman with a Fan. Yeah, it's a little hard to make out in that regard. It's done by Maria Blanchard in Spain, Madrid, and she was a Spanish woman, and it was finished in 1915. What I really liked about this one was it's a Cubist style with a bit more consistency in interpretations and expressionist, and then and her background was really fascinating. Reading a little bit about her, that she really started off with traditional style in the early 1900s, and then gravitated towards being like the really radical expressionist kind of one, right? And in this specific one, it's meant to debunk the traditional image of a Spanish womanhood, and that because there had been like a perspective on what women are supposed to do, and use the techniques rooted in her own personal interpretation of Cubist principles. The subject broken up into multiple planes that reference a number of different perspectives, while the color range includes very bright tones, aspect demonstrated in Blanchard's familiarity with Juan Gris's experience in almost monochromatic images of early Cubism. Blanchard's work also gives us an idea of the different forms of Cubism that evolved all over Europe once the original movement became popular. I love that she went as a woman, of all things, in the early 1900s as an artist. That really that spoke to me in a nice positive way, to think that she decided to be so radical, and during the earlier times of Cubism and Impressionism, expression, surrealism kind of things were still probably in the category of very, very strange, on top of her being a lady, where like so dominated in an industry overall that all men ruled the world. It's just a beautiful piece, and I like the expression in that, and that it's continued to carry over 100 years later of women and feminism needing to be like anything and everything that they want to be and should be allowed to be, this beautiful free-flowing thing. Yeah.